They had some breaking news on Fox the other day. Take a look, Here you go.
Oh, Jennifer, this sounds like huge news.
Sean, we can report based on senior military sources that U.S. warplanes have carried out airstrikes tonight inside Syria against Iranian proxy forces. We don't know the number of strikes. We were told earlier today to expect that perhaps F-15s and F-16s would be involved in the airstrikes, but we don't have confirmation yet about how many warplanes. But those strikes have been carried out. I'm told it is in response to the more than dozen strikes against U.S. bases. The message is a clear message designed to Iran and its proxy forces to stop carrying out these drone and rocket attacks against U.S. bases. But I'm told that the planes have safely left the area and that the airstrikes are complete at this time. They were targeting multiple locations inside Syria and Iranian proxy forces, Sean.
Wow.
Did you hear Sean Hannity get all excited about this? This is something huge coming in. Oh, let's get it in there. Like, he was so excited that we bombed. And first of all, let me just say this much. It is not necessarily Iran proxy forces. What they're saying...
I don't even think that it is,
they're saying they're Shias that are doing it, and therefore they can conflate the two and then blame Iran. Anything that happens for any Shia militia, they're going to blame Iran. Even though there are Shias in Syria, there are Shias in... Iraq, that's what they're going to do, and they're going to conflate it, and the Americans are going to buy it because they don't understand what's going on, and they're going to be happy with it because what happens? We got hit by the Shia militia, these Iranian-backed militias, so now we can hit back.
What does the Iranian-backed mean? How is that different?
Because they're saying they're Shia militias.
How's that different than Netanyahu-backed? I want to know the material difference.
Well, Netanyahu-backed is Israeli forces.
Hamas.
Iran is, well, Hamas is Sunni. So they're more, Sunni leaders.
Oh, Netanyahu's not backing also Iranian ones to help with this strategy?
I don't know if he is. I don't know if he's backing Hezbollah. Hezbollah is more Shia, and Hamas is Sunnis, come from the Muslim Brotherhood and in Egypt, so different things. But what they're doing is they're just conflating the situation.
Soleimani? He killed Soleimani.
He did.
He was replaced by General Salami.
He did.
So he killed a half a sandwich worth of their generals.
He did. And the reason why he did that is he didn't want Soleimani having a sit down and making peace with Saudi Arabia. But, even though they killed him for doing that because they didn't want to do that, they want to stick a wedge there. Too late. Saudi Arabia and Iran are now opening up embassies in each respective countries, and they're back to peace talks and moving along.
It made Iran give up their nuclear ambitions, though, didn't it?
No, it did not. U.S. strikes 2 facilities linked to Iranian-backed militias in Syria following series of attacks on U.S. forces in the Middle East. Washington, and this is from CNN, the U.S. carried out airstrikes targeting 2 facilities linked to Iranian-backed militias in eastern Syria on Thursday, according to a statement from Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, following a series of drone and rocket attacks against U.S. forces in the region. Can I ask you a question, Kurt? Why are we still there? The statement said the facilities have been used, why were they there in the first place, been used by Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps and affiliated groups. So the Revolutionary Guard, or the actual defense mechanism, it's like the IDF of Israel. This is the Revolutionary Guard, is what it is to Iran. So you're hitting their country's forces directly. The strikes carried out by a pair of F-16 fighter jets used precision-guided munitions, targeted a weapons of ammunition storage facilities in Abu Kamal near the border between Syria and Iraq, which they'll always tell you that they were hitting weapons. Might be a hospital, might be a school, but we were going after weapons. You never know. There's no such thing as precision when it comes to those attacks, and they don't give a shit who they're blowing up and who they're killing. Austin described the strikes, which were ordered by President Joe Biden, as narrowly tailored in self-defense, and emphasized they are separate from the ongoing conflict in Gaza.
Are they? By the way, self-defense, like if a guy comes in your house and just starts living there,
yeah,
and you shoot him,
yeah, that's he directly accused Iran of having a role in the attacks on U.S. forces, saying in the statement, Iran wants to hide its hand and deny its role in these attacks against our forces, which at the end of the day, he's full of shit. Because just because they're Shia forces or Shia militias inside Syria, that doesn't mean they were paid for by Iran. Okay, that means they're just pissed off that the Americans are doing what they're always doing, occupying their land. And now they had enough, and they're saying, get out.
Well, all this means is we're going to have a World War III, whether you kids like it or not. So pack your stuff, kiddies.
We will not let them, says Austin. Austin also promised further strikes if the attacks by Iran's proxies continue. So you could just blame anybody you want. You don't need proof. Just same religion, bomb the facility, blame Iran.
Yeah, obviously.
So this is from Jason Brodowski. 19 American service members stationed in Iraq and Syria have been diagnosed with traumatic brain injury after rocket and drone attacks from Iran-backed militants.
They'll probably get promoted all the way up to the top with that.
These are the things we have to keep an eye on.
Traumatic brain injury? They could be president.
All right, yeah. Some of these kids might be messed up for life. Who knows? But as we start seeing more deaths, that's when the talks will heat up. It's going to take American deaths before the public starts screaming about it and saying, why are you doing this? Why are you even in Syria in the first place?
Yeah, but that's the thing. American deaths in Syria are making me say that. They're not making me say we got to go fight.
Yeah.
It's making me say, why were you there?
Yeah. Why are we there?
So a lot of people are going to say that.
You want to know why we're there? Let's listen to a representative from the Pentagon tell us why we're there.
The United States still had compelling forms of leverage on the table to shape an outcome that was more conducive and protective of U.S. interests. And we identified 4. So the first one was the 1/3 of Syrian territory that was owned via the U.S. military with its local partner, the Syrian Democratic Forces. Now, this was a light footprint on the U.S. military, only about 1,000 troops over the course of the Syria Study Group's report. And then the tens of thousands of forces, both Kurdish and Arab, under the Syrian Democratic Forces. And that 1/3 of Syria is the resource-rich, it's the economic powerhouse of Syria. So where the hydrocarbons are, which obviously is very much in the public debate here in Washington these days, as well as the agricultural powerhouse. But we argued that it wasn't just about this 1/3 of Syrian territory that the U.S. military and our military presence owned, both to fight ISIS and also as leverage for affecting the overall political process for the broader Syrian conflict.
So this scumbag war pig,
yes,
just so you know, when you watch that awful chick that got hired to censor you on Twitter by Elon,
yes,
or any of these maniac broads that run corporations and they screw things up because they're psychopaths,
yeah,
that's one of this is like a Kathleen Kennedy of Disney.
Yeah. And what she said pretty much is that, number one, it's a light footprint for the American troops, only 1,000 there. You know, it's going to give us the better outcome we want. In other words, we don't like that Assad's is the head of that government. We want our own proxy Zelensky in Syria, the way we have it in Ukraine, right?
You know what they say?
Never got it.
The force is female.
And then also she talks about this resource-rich area. So you're stealing. And then Donald Trump did it. I said, we take the oil, we kept the oil. Why are we there? If we're there, I'm going to keep the oil. But I mean, literally talking about taking their food, their energy,
hydrocarbons, everything
that Syria needs, right?
Yeah.
The most resource-rich area of Syria, and they're starving there. They're hurting. They've been through so much war, proxy war. And yet America's just openly admitting that they're taking and stealing their shit. Like they have every right to do so.
Craig, deplatforming works.
Craig Pasta Jardula here with Kurt Metzger. We're in Syria there. We're back in Syria, but listen, we're there. It's, you know, I mean, listen, when Donald Trump talked about it, they justified it. We're taking the oil, right? We spent all this money and resources there. We're entitled, even though we started the war, we messed around with shit. It was our actions. We're going to replenish ourselves with your goods and your energy.
Nobody, first of all,
food.
If I tell somebody that I know about Syria, they go, what? Okay, the only thing.
They don't even know we're there.
Yeah, secondly, which is wild that Trump got in trouble for saying we're taking their oil, that was such a big boo-boo. Because don't worry, the dim bulbs that live here don't know anything about it. They might know that Syria is a member of the axis of evil.
Yeah.
So here, I'll be Joe Fudge Pack and Susie Bag of Donuts at home when you tell me about Syria. I go, oh, is that the axis of evil? Yeah, go take their oil.
Yeah, that's it.
Go take it.
They're jihadists over there. They're evil. Assad's a brutal dictator. He gasses his own people and whatnot.
He got gas his own people.
Yeah. This is gonna get crazier over here right now too as well.
You gas your own people.
Look, here's what's gonna happen. They're gonna hit a real Iranian-backed militia, a Hezbollah.
Yeah,
you know, and then
I don't have kids. They ain't going to work.
This is not, and people got to understand this, right? Okay, so they're using F-16. They're bombing right now. These methods aren't going to work. The whole area is polluted with weapon sales that left Ukraine, that left Afghanistan, and they're being held by these militias.
Yeah.
That's why they fired so many rockets out of, you know what I'm saying? They're going to do it again.
Okay,
they're all over the region now.
So
It's a different, Colonel McGregor said it the other day, it's a different war. We're not just going to be able to bomb them back to the Stone Age. They're going to come out of their hiding, their areas, whatnot, and they're going to hit certain areas, and they're going to make sure they're going to pay it back. Everything we do tenfold.
Guess what? It's not my problem. It's now all 372 genders of Gen Z's problem to go fight that war. I'm too old to go. This ain't Ukraine.
I told you this before.
Send your pick.
Drone
kids
warfare, baby. F-16s.
Drones can't do it. We learned from that surprise Hamas attack that drones can't do it.
Yeah.
We got to get your fat, non-binary kids, suit them up, send them in.
Let's go.
Hey, come see us doing a live stand-up show in Bloomington, Illinois, Indianapolis, Levittown, New York, Red Bank, New Jersey, Wilmington, Delaware, Covina, California, Burbank, California, Oxnard, California, Venice, California, and Palmdale, California. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.